Right. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Right. By the way, Osama, are you recording the
Yes,
lecture?
yes, I'm recording.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Welcome.
Right. Now, contrastive linguistics or contrastive grammar is concerned, as I said last time, it's concerned with comparing and contrasting any two languages in order to determine the similarities and dissimilarities, differences in various areas, in phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Now, one of the wrong assumptions made by foreign language learners is that all languages would be identical. Of course, unfortunately, this is not always the case. I'm saying it's not always the case. Of course, languages do have similarities, no doubt, but at the same time, we should expect differences. It's these differences which cause difficulties and which make people, foreign language learners, commit errors and mistakes. To take an example, the verb wait, as I said, is a transitive verb in Arabic, but it turns to be intransitive in English. So most Arab learners and some school teachers have noticed, they keep saying, I have waited you for 2 hours. I have waited you for 2 hours. Now, this sentence is produced because of negative transfer from Arabic, from the linguistic background of the learner. So this is produced in both spoken and written forms. Now, why is this utterance unacceptable in English? Because unlike Arabic, verb to wait in English is an intransitive verb. What does that mean? It means that we need to use a preposition after wait. So in Arabic we say لقد انتظرني. لقد انتظرني. So انتظر here is a transitive verb, yeah, with an object. In English, they don't say he waited me for 2 hours. Rather, they say he waited for me. Now, this is just an area of difficulty, dissimilarity between two languages, English and Arabic, dissimilarity results in errors, committing such a syntactic error. Now, words like equipment in English, can we say I bought some equipments with an S?
No, Doctor.
Of course not. While in Arabic we can say أجهزة. Now, this is at the level of morphology. I mean, Arabic morphology permits certain nouns to be used in the plural form. Examples, words like equipment in English never accept an S. In Arabic, we do say al-ajhiza, jihaz, ajhiza. So that's perfectly all right. Most Arab learners are influenced by the mother tongue. Negative transfer from Arabic negative transfer makes them commit errors, morphological errors in the area of morphology. Okay, so they tend to add an S to the word equipment, make it equipments. Now this doesn't work. Okay, the word information, for instance, the word information in English could be used as in the singular form and the plural form. Okay. In other words, can we say informations?
No.
No, Doctor.
No, we can't say informations. Okay. What do we say? I mean, when we want to use the plural form, what do we do?
Information.
In Arabic we say معلومات. معلومات. At here is a plural suffix. In Arabic, we have the suffix at, معلومات, سيدات, for instance. What else?
Doctor Furniture.
طالبات, yeah. طالبات. We have the alif ta. This prefix, this suffix stands for the plural form in Arabic, the regular form, feminine regular form. We have the plural regular form. What suffix is used in Arabic to mark the plural regular form? Masculine.
Ya or noon.
Again?
Ya or noon.
Wow, noon, yes. Wow, noon, yes. Yes. Wow, noon. صائمون. صائم, صائمون.
معلمون.
معلم, معلمون. So that wow, noon stands for the regular plural form. Okay. Now, in Arabic, words like معلومات can be pluralized, while English morphology doesn't permit that. That's not permitted in English. Now, most Arab learners of English as a foreign language tend to use an S. Why? Because they assume that whatever applies to Arabic morphology may also apply to English morphology. And as I said, unfortunately, I mean, languages do have similarities. They do have common features, but they are not always identical. We should expect differences. Okay. Now, what is the plural of advice in English?
advising.
Plural of advice. Ahmed,
Advice دكتور.
advice. What do you say?
Advice دكتور.
We have the same form. Advice.
دكتور advice. Information is mass noun.
Yeah, okay. Advice is used both as singular and plural. Of course, we say, I gave him a piece of advice, or I need pieces of advice. I need a piece of information and pieces of information. This is a dissimilarity area. How about words like ox?
Oxen دكتور.
Oxen.
Yes.
Oxen.
Okay.
Oxen. Woman.
Women.
Women. Yeah, it does have an O, but in the plural form. In the singular form, we have woman. In the plural form, it goes to women, although it's an O. Yeah, okay. How about sheep?
Sheep دكتور. Same.
Sheep. Zero. We call this zero suffix. Zero. Nothing is added. So both English and Arabic, I'm just citing examples, of errors. Why? For Arab foreign language learners of English often commit errors. And the main objective of this course is to help you overcome such errors. So hopefully we'll tackle the most common errors that occur both in spoken and written English, by giving a list of similarities and that of dissimilarities. So we'll go about it by following certain steps in contrastive analysis. التحليل التقابلي يعني. Comparative linguistics, contrastive linguistics or contrastive grammar is القواعد المقارنة أو التقابلية, we say in Arabic. We can use either, yeah? But it's contrastive, of course. Contrastive linguistics or contrastive grammar. Grammar here is not confined to syntax. Grammar used by linguists in modern linguistics is used to cover all linguistic levels. Okay, so how do we go about describing and analyzing errors? We have error analysis and contrastive analysis. Error analysis is abbreviated as EEA. EA, error analysis. Contrastive analysis is CA, contrastive analysis. So how do we go about determining errors or diagnosing errors? Okay, there are certain steps. One, we select an area. We select an area to compare and contrast in English and Arabic. Yeah? We select an area. That's the first step. It could this area could be syntactic, morphological, phonological, phonetic, semantic, pragmatic. It could be any one of these different levels, linguistic levels. So that would be the first step. Select an area. We choose an area to describe. Okay. Then we describe it in the source language. So if we are comparing and contrasting English and Arabic, we select an area. Let's have an area. Let's have any area. Let's have vowels, okay? Let's have vowels in English and Arabic. I guess all of you have done phonetics, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So let's select an area. The area is vowels in English and Arabic. Let's see how similar they are and where do they differ. Now, differences are one of the major sources of errors. So we describe that area in English, we describe it in Arabic, we determine similarities, then dissimilarities. Now, errors are committed because of these similarities. So we can predict the errors once we follow these steps of error analysis, error and contrastive analysis. So let's take English vowels first. So how many vowels are there in English?
There are 12 vowels in English.
There are 12 vowels. Okay, we make a list of these vowels.
Yeah.
Okay, how many vowels are there in Arabic?
6, Doctor.
We have 6 vowels. We have 6 vowels. Unfortunately, we are taught. Textbook writers, designers introduce misinformations, about vowels in Arabic. They tend to say that Arabic has how many vowels? 3 vowels.
Yes, Doctor, 3.
That's what they keep saying. Yeah. They totally ignore vowels, الحركات. Yeah. So English has 12 vowels, vowel sounds. And of course, we have always to draw a distinction between letters and sounds. Often, Arab learners of English as a foreign language think that language is based on writing, on letters. Now, in phonetics and phonology, we deal with the spoken form of language. So it's not letters which matter. It's sounds which matter most. Yeah. So Arabic has 6 sounds. It has 6 sounds. Okay. Now this means that Arabic has less vowel sounds than English. Of course, that's standard Arabic. When we say language, we mean standard English, standard Arabic. Okay. Now, what vowels are similar in both languages?
E.
What vowels are similar?
E.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh.
O.
We have E sound, as in sit. We have O sound, as in book. We have A sound, as in lack. Now these are similar sounds, 3 similar sounds, vowel sounds. Then we have 3 long. We have E sound as in C. What's the Arabic equivalent of C? I mean with the vowel E.
إيمان مثلا.
Iman. Okay. As-Sin. As-Sin has an E sound. Okay. Then we have U sound as in U sound in English as pool or spoon, spoon or pool. Okay. What's the Arabic equivalent?
مسؤول دكتور.
Mas'ul. That's very good. Mas'ul. Again, Noor. Noor. Batul. Yeah. All these have the U sound. So here we don't talk of the letter Waw, because the letter Waw is pronounced in certain positions in the word. The Waw is pronounced as U. So we don't call it a Waw, do we? At the phonetic or phonological level, we don't call it a Waw, because the Waw in Arabic has more than one sound.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. So in the word walad, for instance, or watan, it's pronounced wa. But in the word az-zaytuna, for instance, the waw is realized as an u sound.
أولو العزم كمان دكتور.
Sorry.
أولو العزم. أولو العزم.
Ulul azm. Okay, right. Okay. Then we have the a sound, which is what? What do you call it in Arabic? In English we have fa.
دكتور مثل أحمد.
وفار كمان. وفار in Arabic.
Again.
فار in Arabic كمان.
Yeah.
فار اللي هو الماوس.
Yeah, sure. So that would be an R sound.
Yeah.
R sound. Do we call this alif?
No. Yes, it's alif, but
Alif as a letter.
as a letter, yes.
Yeah, as a letter, it's alif. But sometimes in a word like هذا, there is no alif.
Yeah.
There is no alif. هذا. In words like darasu, the alif at the end is silent. So there is no alif here again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have the alif is pronounced in 2 different ways, which are the alif is realized as 2 different vowel sounds, that is, vowel sounds, which are R sound and A sound. So in Tara or Sara, it's an R sound, as in fa or ka.
Yes.
In Masar, it's an A sound. So this means that English and Arabic have 6 similar vowels. All other vowels are dissimilar. So A does not occur in Arabic. A sound. And words like B-E-D. Most, because it doesn't exist in Arabic, yeah, most Arab learners tend to replace it with an E sound. So when a certain linguistic element does not occur in the source language of the foreign language learner, the tendency is to replace it by some similar sound in the mother tongue, in one's mother tongue. So, does not exist in Arabic. What do Arab learners do? They replace it by E sound. So instead of saying said, they say sid. Bed is mispronounced as bid. Get, git. Shed, shed, shid. Even the word ten is replaced by tin, T-I-N. And of course, in each case, the form of the word, the resultant form, would have a different meaning, because different forms have different meanings. Yeah. What else? Now, O is dissimilar. It doesn't exist. It's not dissimilar. It's not just dissimilar. It doesn't occur in Arabic. O sound. So instead of saying box, B-O-X, the tendency is to make it books. Of course, books and box are two different words. What else? The schwa and long schwa. Schwa and long schwa. Word is mispronounced as, now Arabic doesn't have the long schwa. So how are words with a schwa, with a long schwa, realized or pronounced by Arabs as foreign language learners? How do they pronounce them?
Doctor, they say word.
They say word. Instead of word, they say word.
Yes, Doctor. Even
instead of shirt, S-H-I-R-T, how is it realized?
Shirt.
Shirt. Yeah. How about other sounds, other dissimilar sounds? O sound, it does not exist in standard Arabic. It does not exist in standard Arabic, but it does occur in some dialects. O sound, as in short, as in
boat,
fall. That's not that hard, because it occurs in colloquial Arabic. So in most Arabic dialects, the tendency is to replace the diphthong aw, like you say qawm, yawm, nawm. All these in colloquial go to nom. What else? So nawm in standard goes to nom. So this sound occurs in Arabic. So it's not that problematic. It occurs. There's an advantage of having an inventory of sounds in standard and colloquial Arabic. So in almost in all dialects, Arabic dialects, the sound O, the long O sound with two dots, occurs in most dialects. Okay, so these are is problematic. The long schwa is highly problematic. Even the schwa. That's why I mean words like actor are realized by some Arab learners as actor. Translator is realized as translator. Contractor again is contractor, they say. Yeah. Then of course we have the R sound does occur in Arabic, R, which is fully back. So here we can determine problematic areas, determine errors committed in these areas, and then can predict, I mean, in light of contrastive analysis or contrastive grammar, contrastive linguistics, okay, one can easily predict difficulties faced by foreign language learners. Now, if you have a list of, say, English and French sounds, you can tell which sounds are problematic. Those sounds that are different, that don't occur in one language, will be problematic for foreign language learners. Whether they are, whether French is the mother tongue or the target language, the source language or the target language. Now, in some languages, there is no long E sound. So all English words and Arabic words with an E sound, yeah, are pronounced as E, short E, without two dots. And of course, this makes a mess of pronunciation and meaning. Once one of my colleagues dashed to my office, and he used the short vowel. So instead of asking for a sheet, he made it short.
Yeah, it happened with me one time.
Yeah, just imagine.
Yes, it's.
Just imagine how pronunciation. I mean, what vital importance, what vital role pronunciation plays in communication. I mean, mispronunciation is bound to cause misunderstanding, because not all native speakers of a certain language are aware of the linguistic system of whatever language spoken by foreign language learners. Yeah. So I was really shocked. I mean, he didn't say a sheet of paper. He just asked for a sheet with a short E. I didn't realize what he was saying first. In French, they tend to add a ha sound at the beginning of some words. So apple, for instance, goes to apple. In Japanese, all la sounds go to ra sounds. So instead of saying hello, they say hello. Just imagine replacing one phoneme by another. Now, the British and Americans, when they learn Arabic as a foreign language, and we do have thousands of such learners in Jordan. I mean, they like to study in Jordan. They acquire they learn the linguistic system of Standard Arabic and that of Jordanian dialect. So, for instance, they have a problem with some consonants in Arabic. The ain is one of them. That's when it comes to consonant sounds. Yeah, the ain. So instead of saying amal, the tendency is to mispronounce it as amal. The emphatic sounds, all emphatic sounds, the ta, for instance. So instead of saying teen, they tend to say teen. What a difference. What else? The sound goes to the sound. Dod goes to the sound. So this is a universal phenomenon. Committing errors is not confined to a particular nationality. This applies to all foreign language learners. Sometimes there are what we call fossilized errors. Fossilized here means that no matter how hard they try, these errors are often committed by certain foreign language learners. So in Britain, the chairperson of the linguistics department was Dr. Bynum. I mean, she's originally German, and she used to mispronounce certain married to a British, by the way, married to a British. Yet she had some problem producing certain sounds, English sounds, although she's a linguist. Henry Kissinger, the ex-Secretary of State, had a foreign accent because of the influence of German. I mean, his mother tongue is German, so he had a problem with producing certain letters, certain sounds. Okay. So have you been? This is just an introduction, you know. Have you been able to get a copy of this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, by the way, I thought it was 5 JDs. I had a word with the owner of the bookshop, and he said it would be four JDs for students. So we had today the bookshop is open, I think. So anybody who's I prefer to have a book because I do have a PDF, but some exercises and pages are missing. So it's worth, this book is worth